Hello, my dear students. This is Abhishek Mishra, Faculty of Social Studies at Mount Litra Z School, Jhansi. In this video, I am going to teach you Class 10th Economics Chapter number 2, Sectors of the Indian Economy. In my previous videos, we have studied about the activities that are done in the different sectors, and we had also calculated the value of the final products. There we had understood that whenever the price of any product is considered, so directly we considered the value of the final product. We do not include the price of the raw materials with the price of the final product. Directly by considering the value of the final product, what we understood that the value of the raw material and the making process is included in it. Now, here we are understanding how the GDP in our country is calculated, or what is the role of the final goods and services in each sector. So let's start from here. The value of final goods and services produced in each sector during a particular year provides the total production of the sector for that year. And the sum of production in the three sectors gives what is called the gross domestic product of a country. So this is called GDP. Suppose there are three sectors: primary, secondary and tertiary. So all the goods and services that are produced in these sectors in a particular year, and the sum of the products that are produced in these three sectors will be termed as the GDP of that country. Now, GDP means it is the value of all final goods and services produced within a country during a particular year. GDP shows how big the economy is. It means if there will be more production in all these sectors, the more GDP will be there in a country. Now, in India, the mammoth task of measuring GDP is undertaken by the central government of ministry. This ministry, with the help of various government departments of all the Indian states and union territories, collect information relating to the total volume of goods and services and their prices, and then estimates the GDP. Though, however, you cannot say that this particular amount is the perfect GDP of their country, because this data of statistics of measuring the GDP is undertaken by a single authority that comes under the Ministry of Central Government. This ministry takes data from all the different states and union territories and then collect information about the goods एंड द सर्विसेज दैट आर प्रोड्यूस्ड इन अ पर्टिकुलर ईयर. तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के अंडर में जो मिनिस्ट्री आती है जो इस जीडीपी को मेज़र करती है, वो क्या करती है, सभी स्टेट्स में या सभी यूनियन टेरिटरीज़ में जितने भी गुड्स और सर्विसेज का प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है, उनका जो भी प्राइस है, उन सभी चीज़ों को ऐड करके पूरी कंट्री की जीडीपी निकालती है. बट हम कह सकते हैं कि किसी भी स्टेट में या किसी भी डिस्ट्रिक्ट में या किसी भी छोटे से गांव में या मोहल्ले में या यूनियन टेरिटरीज़ में होने वाले प्रोडक्शन और वहाँ बनने वाले सभी तरीके के गुड्स और सर्विसेज की वैल्यू को काउंट करना इंडिया जैसी वास्ट कंट्री हैविंग द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ 130 करोड़ इज़ नियरली इम्पॉसिबल. तो परफेक्ट जीडीपी नहीं आती है, इसीलिए यहाँ पर एक वर्ड इस्तेमाल किया गया है, एस्टीमेट्स, मीन्स अंदाज़ा लगाया जाता है. नाउ, historical change in sectors generally, it has been noted from the histories of many now developed countries that at initial stage of development primary sector was the most important sector of economic activity. तो अगर आप अपने पास्ट में चले जाएंगे तो वहाँ आप देखेंगे कि प्राइमरी सेक्टर या एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में होने वाली जो एक्टिविटीज़ थी, these activities were done on a very large scale. Nearly 70 to 80% people were engaged in agricultural practices in our कंट्री. और अगर आप बहुत पहले की स्थिति को देखेंगे तो 100 के 100% जो लोग थे वो एग्रीकल्चरल एक्टिविटी ज़रूर करते थे. नाउ, as the methods of farming changed and agricultural sector began to prosper, it produced much more food than before. Many people could now take up other activities. So when the pressure over the agricultural field has been taken by some people, and when they produced a vast or a large or a huge amount of grains, so it reduces the dependence of other people on this sector. So now they are free to do any other economic activity. There were increasing number of craftsperson and traders. Buying and selling activities increased many times. Besides, there were also transporters administrators, army, etc. However, at this stage, most of the goods produced were natural products from the primary sector, and most people were also employed in this sector. Over a long time, more than 100 years, and especially because new methods of manufacturing were introduced, factory came up and started expanding. तो हुआ क्या कि जब एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड में काफ़ी ज़्यादा प्रोडक्शन होने लगा, कुछ लोग ही बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ी मात्रा में प्रोडक्शन कर लेते थे, तो अदर पीपल जो थे उनको काफ़ी ज़्यादा मौका मिलने लगा कि वो अब अपने आप को एंगेज कर सकते हैं किसी दूसरी इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटीज़ में. So those people who had earlier worked on farms, now they began to work in factories in large numbers. People began to use many more goods that were produced in factories at cheap rates. Secondary sector gradually became the most important in total production and employment. तो जब डिपेंडेंसी लोगों की एग्रीकल्चरल सेक्टर पे कम होने लगी तो लोग भागे फैक्ट्रियों की तरफ. And there they did a large production in factories. They made everything by machine and made the cheap cloths and you may say products. So hence over time a shift had taken place. This means that the importance of the sectors had changed. In the past 100 years, there has been a further shift from secondary to tertiary sector in developed countries. Now in developed countries, people are more engaged or more inclined towards the tertiary sector. They are not engaged in the manufacturing activities. They are importing and exporting the goods and the services. Now they are engaged to provide service activities. And the service sector has become the most important in terms of total production. Most of the working people are also employed in the service sector. This is the general pattern observed in developed countries. So what is the total production and employed in the three sectors in India? Over the years, have there been changes similar to the pattern observed for the developed countries? This we shall see in the next section. Till then, I am waving you goodbye to all. God bless you. Stay home and stay safe.